I'm only in one side.
Even it out.
Just a teary mess.
All right, we're back for another Burning Questions brought to you by Zone Smelling Salts. Today we have Stephen Bradley in here for his first podcast interview.
Hi.
If you don't know who this is, you should. He's one of the best active middleweights in strongman right now. Most recently taking a third place podium finish at World's Strongest Man under 105, and right now gearing up for PSL in a few weeks. So we have an 8-question interview coming up. So as always, option of up to 8 different smelling salts. Stephen has elected to go with a full 8 salt lineup today. He's picked his products from Zone. Before we get into the questions, I'm going to give you the floor for your quick little elevator pitch on who you are if people don't know you.
Obviously, I'm Stephen, like she said, but yeah, I've been competing since like 2017, and I spent 9 years in the Marines, and now I'm currently serving in the Army. It's a weird change, but it is what it is.
All right, ready for some questions? So I'll be doing salts along with him. Has the recent change to the podcast, starting with the Norse Blood Small, which hasn't been open for a while, so it might be a little potent.
Ooh.
Oh, I smell it already. So I'd start by going back to the beginning of people's athletic careers. So give us a rundown of your sports background and training history, starting from when you were a kid to when you finally decided to give strongman a try.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not that
it's
bad.
A little one.
Growing up, I did football, cross country, track. Never competed powerlifting, but I did like the workouts at school. Then I joined the Marine Corps in 2014. Obviously, it's a lot of physical stuff, so it wasn't probably till 2016 that I really started getting into like strength training, and then just kind of those general strength training stuff. And then 2017, I had my first ever like non-sanctioned powerlifting meet, and that was cool. That was fine, but a few months later, I had my first ever strongman meet on Veterans Day, and found that I loved that a lot more.
It's objectively cooler.
Way cooler.
What sports did you enjoy most as a kid?
Really just, I used to really love running, but the military kind of ruins that for you.
How much do you run on a weekly basis now?
Now? Probably like 5 or 6 miles.
More than me. All right, moving on. Irish Cream. I'm sure a big contributor to your current fitness levels comes from your time in the military. I know you joined the Marines very shortly after high school and planned to be a career service member. Yeah. When did you decide that was the path that you wanted to take? Oh, sorry. When did you decide military was the path you wanted to take, and why? Get in there.
It smells like chlorine. That was not that strong. Well, when I first went into high school, I did the whole like JROTC program because I knew from that moment on that I wanted to be in the military. Growing up, I didn't grow up in the best. I'm crying.
It's okay.
Growing up, I didn't come from the best background, and so I just wanted to get away. I got married to my first wife after high school, and so but was married for a year before I joined the military. But really all throughout my high school career is when I really knew I wanted to be in the military. Didn't care what branch it was until my senior year, my junior senior year, and I was like, "Now I'm doing the Marines." Like,
What was it about military that drew you?
I come from a military family, so it just seemed appropriate.
Made sense. All right. So I know you're new to the Army and still getting your footing here, but you were a Marine for nearly a decade. The blueberry one. Can you tell us a bit first about what your job was and what you did, and then also about some interesting experience highlights from your time in the Marines?
Oh, that's nice. That smells nice. It's pretty.
It's pretty.
While in the Marines, I was a forward observer, fire support man for all you people who used to be there.
What does that mean?
Fire support Marine. Now, basically, all it is we get in like small teams. So we'll go out and ahead of kind of the infantry or out with foreign partners, and just call in artillery strikes and air strikes and stuff like that. It's a really cool job. I actually really enjoyed it. The higher, along with most things, the higher you get in it, the more political it gets, and like people just start kind of sucking. I have a lot of fond memories when I was in the Marines. A lot of not so great. They were just kind of like trekking party nights in Australia.
What were you doing in Australia?
I was just there for just kind of a 6-month deployment, and like just training basically. Didn't really do shit. Probably my favorite place I went to was Norway. It's beautiful. You got to see the Northern Lights. Met a lot of really cool people.
What were you doing there?
Same thing, training.
For how long?
I was there for about 3 months.
Yeah.
From January to March.
Yeah. Cold.
It was very cold. I don't like being cold.
It's a cold 3 months. That was like cold weather training?
Yeah. It was cold weather training with the Norwegians. And then it accumulated at the end with a force-on-force exercise with a bunch of people. Not just the Norwegians in the U.S.
Yeah. A party.
It was a whole party. It was a party afterwards.
Everyone?
Everyone.
What country parties the hardest?
Probably the Australians.
That's not surprising.
From what I've seen.
All right.
Those people know how to drink.
Yeah. All right. So it was about 5 years into being active duty that you jumped into your first novice strongman show, right? About 5 years. So 2-part question. Cotton candy.
Oh, I don't think
that was a lot more than I thought that was going to be. 1, how were you at the sport initially? And 2, what skills or traits or experiences from being in the military do you think help you excel in the sport?
Oh my god.
I went in way too confidently on that one.
I don't think this one's been used. Jeez. So my first ever, I didn't train for it at all going into it, and I just kind of was like, oh, that looks cool, that looks fun, and I signed up for it. I literally learned how to do everything the day of from other people, which I think is really cool. The thing about strongman is just the community that it brings out. I did finish 3rd in my first ever competition.
Do you remember what the events were?
It was a max deadlift, which I ended up, I think I got like, I think it was like 615 or 620. No straps. I just kind of showed up with nothing. And then it was a press medley. It was like a homemade like Thor's hammer. It was a Ragnarok strongman competition. So it was a big ass ammo can press. So it was a homemade hammers Thor press. Thor's hammer press, ammo can, and a log for reps at the end. And then there's a sandbag carry event, load and carry, and then wheelbarrow race, which is kind of cool. Was that 3?
That's 4.
That was 4. 4, yeah. And then that last one was a mystery event, which was Conan's wheel.
Yeah. Do you feel like you were kind of naturally good at the sport off the bat, or did it take some time?
I mean, strength-wise, I felt like I was pretty good at it from the get-go. I used to do a lot of hiking in California because that's where I was at first. A lot of hiking, 60, 70, 80, sometimes 100 pounds on our back. So, like, walking with heavy things on my back it's never been hard. Picking things up and carrying it's never been hard. So, also growing up and throw hay bales and shit like that. So,
arm strength. So is it more just like the technique stuff you kind of had to learn?
Yeah.
And what from the military do you feel like traits, lessons, experiences, skills do you think carried over well to you then being able to excel in the sport?
Really just kind of discipline's kind of just the biggest one. Like, I already liked working out, so therefore, like, starting to train for it was kind of easy. It's kind of this easy transition. You gotta have like train legs a lot, so like a lot of times like we would go to the field and we wouldn't ever train legs because we had to walk and everything everywhere. So like
Plenty tired.
All
right, great bubble gum. I'm scared now.
It's your favorite one.
What? I do like this one. All right, so I know you sent me your whole competition resume, but probably the biggest show on there so far is OSG, which is Worlds for the weight classes. First appearance was in 2021, where you did pretty damn good for your first time making finals, taking 6th place. And then I know the following 2 years maybe didn't go how you hoped with not making finals. So returning this past year, 2024, ending on podium, I'm sure meant a lot. So what was your mindset going into Worlds last year? What goal did you have for yourself? And then how did you feel about the result?
Oh. We're only in one side.
You gotta even out.
Oh, God.
You good?
Yeah. Just a teary mess.
An emotional question.
Kind of. But no, like, I know personally for me, like, it meant a lot going into it. The last couple of years hadn't been great for me. A lot of stuff happened in my life that a lot of it was brought on by myself, and just kind of avoiding shit. And then a lot of other personal things that was going on that I won't get into because it's a whole other thing. But going into it, it was more of a just trying to prove to myself that because I felt like I didn't belong anymore with how shitty I felt like I was doing. Mostly brought on by my situations and the people I was with or around. So going into it, my only goal was to make top 10. But luckily, like, moving here to Washington, I was surrounded by people and had my coach, and they kind of just helped me move along. And then that was really my only goal, was top 10. Then when I got there, I realized that, like, I was going to do a lot better than I initially believed. And so in result, me taking 3rd place, like, that was huge.
Is that something that you thought was a possibility going into it?
No, honestly, I really just wanted, but it was really nice. It was really nice to see. Kind of showed me exactly what I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, am still all right.
Decent. Third at World's Strongest Man is pretty all right.
Oh, that one sucks.
Moving on to the steel bottles. I'm glad that you're not a dum-dum like the last two and picked all 5 steel bottles.
Oh, that's reckless.
That was a choice, not my choice. So PSL 105 is your next competition coming up in 4 weeks. I know that's been the focus for a bit. And we'll be going up against the 2 guys that you were on podium with at OSG, which is kind of cool. But looking forward after this comp, what's next? What's next, and what are your ultimate goals for yourself over the next 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years. It's like a job interview. Jesus. You're emotional too. Yes. Going into this, I can't fucking talk. Going into this, I'm going to go up against the 2 guys I was on podium with. One being my coach, and another one I consider kind of a close friend. That, well, if y'all didn't know, I whooped Alex Sukup's ass in 2021 at Depth Before His Honors competition. And,
claim to fame.
And that kind of lit a fire under him, and he's never let me win since.
Until now.
End
of May.
But like going into it, I feel really good about it. After, though, to answer your question, after that, I think I'm going to try to do the Shaw Classic, and then
Open, right?
Yeah, sure.
The cool kids are doing it.
The cool kids are doing it. And then OSG again.
Same class?
Same class, 105.
And over the next few years, kind of what are your ultimate goals within the sport as a whole?
Really just keep having fun and trying to get better each time.
Yeah.
Just get stronger.
So what does that look like when you win Worlds? What does getting better at that point look like to you?
We're just maintaining it at that point.
Yeah. Defending your titles?
Yeah.
Okay. So after 8 years and almost 20 competitions, obviously something you're pretty invested in. So the question is, why? Oh. What is it that training and competing does for you? And why have you dedicated so much time and energy and love into pursuing this at a high level?
That one smells prettier. I don't know. It just is something I feel like I'm really good at, and it's just something I just really enjoy doing it. A lot of people have their reasons for why they train and go to the gym. Mine aren't so different from a lot of people. It just kind of helps with making me feel sane and whole. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun for me, except for when you're like 2-3 weeks out.
That's never fun. If you couldn't compete anymore, would you still train strongman?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right, last one. End with the last fun question that I've been asking everyone. Oh, it smells nice. If you could put together your ideal strongman contest, 6 events that you don't think anyone else could beat you at, what would they be?
Oh my god. Ow. That's a hard one, just because I don't feel like I'm really good at any one event anymore.
It's a good skill in the sport, though.
Oh, Jesus. I think I know probably max deadlift
What is your best deadlift?
870.
It's all right.
Depends on depending on whatever deadlift we're talking about.
No suit, right?
No suit.
Gotta brag about that.
No suit. Was also the only one that didn't have a suit at OSG, so that did the top weight.
Subtle flex. All right, max deadlift.
Not really good at overhead. I know a lot of y'all beg to differ now, but
If you had to pick an overhead though,
probably log at this point.
No.
Log, maybe for reps, a little bit better at reps than maxes. The sandbag carries are going really well right now. So probably sandbag carry. Like keg load for height, not for reps.
for height, set weight.
Set weight.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe farmers get decent grip
Heavier
strength.
distance.
Heavy.
Okay. Deadlift, log, sandbag, keg load, farmers. One more.
One more? Oh, you said 6. Yoke.
Yoke. That's a good one. You're good at yoke.
Pretty. All right.
You're right. Almost 1,000 pounds.
Almost. Such bullshit.
So, funny story. Thought he did 1,000-pound yoke.
For the OSG
for the OSG
qualifier.
qualifier. Our yoke does not weigh what we've thought it weighed for many, many years. Our 185-pound yoke was actually 165 pounds. So 980 is still pretty cool.
It's all right.
It's not
It's
as
not
cool as
1,000 pounds.
Not as cool. All right. Well, let's wrap on the questions.
Oh, my
Thanks for being
brain
here.
hurts
How
from
do you
that last one.
The last one is sharp.
That hurt my brain.
All right. Asking everyone which one is your favorite.
Probably the blueberry pie.
That one's nice.
I think the blueberry pie. I like that one the most.
So thanks to Zone for supplying the salts. Make sure to check them out. Use my code Murray10. If you buy anything, it'll save you some money. It'll help support me as an athlete. And then where can people find you if they want to follow you?
I really only post on my Instagram, so Stephen Bradley 19. Yeah, that's really it.
So I'll tag him below if you want to check him out. But thanks for being here. And I'll see you next week for another episode of Burning Questions.
Thanks for having me.